Welcome to the 2026 Giant Pumpkin growing season. Had some requests to show how I start my giant pumpkin seeds. There's a lot of different ways to do it. This just happens to be the way that I do it. So there's a longer form version on YouTube if you want to check that out too. But here we go. So I'm using a Sioux germination mix. It's a product that they make for seed starting. I mix that about 90%, and then they also have a potting soil mix. And I mix about 10% of that in. So take the giant pumpkin seed, and what we're going to do is sand around the edges here, not the pointy part, just the remainder of the seed. You want to sand it down just a little bit so until you see a line going through the white part of the seed, just like what you're seeing here. So then you know that seed's ready to go. So I mix up a little bit of lukewarm tap water, and I mix in some soluble seaweed extract, a little bit of Mycomax for mycorrhizal fungi. Fill these cups up, and then you soak the seeds for about 2 hours. I just put another cup on top of them just to help keep them submerged. What that basically does is just help them to germinate a little bit faster. And here what we're basically showing is I'm just adding in the Sioux germination mix. I already have the potting soil in there. Add in a little bit of worm castings, a little bit more of that soluble seaweed extract. That happens to be a product called B+, which is a microbial inoculant. And I'm just running everything through this screen just to make sure there's no clumps or anything like that. You want that broke up really well for those roots to be able to travel easy. So this is probably the most important part, I think, in any seed starting, regardless of what you're growing, is to mix the water. Have a separate receptacle, mix the water in, mix it up really, really well. Make sure you're in there and every part of that is getting saturated. You want to grab a fistful of that and have about 2 drops fall out. That's a perfect amount of moisture. You want to have that before you put it into whatever type of pot you're using. Here I'm putting the seed in. I always lay my seeds flat. That helps, in my opinion, to have this seed casing come off. You don't have to get in there and pop it off yourself. I set these pots onto a 80-degree heat mat. Put the temperature probe in, I put the cover on, and usually in 3 days we end up with these beauties. 100% germination, and we are ready to start growing.